Hello and welcome back to the FIFA 23 Arsenal Career Mode. We are back with part number 16 here for you today, ladies and gentlemen. And what we are going to be looking at in today's episode is Arsenal versus Crystal Palace. So we are 13 points adrift. We are storming this league at the moment, with a game in hand as well on the closest team to us, which is Aston Villa, surprisingly, who are 3 points behind us. And as I say, we do have a game in hand, so we are running away with it at the moment. So what we'll do is we will get straight into the good stuff here. We'll have a look at the team real quick. So we have Jesus leading the line, Rafael Leao, Xhaka, Ødegaard, Bukayo Saka, Thomas Partey, Kieran Tierney, Gabriel Saliba, White, and Ramsdale in goal. So let's get straight into the good stuff against this young looking kind of hopeful Crystal Palace team. I think Vieira's come in and he's changed the outlook of that Crystal Palace team. It was a tough one to take on, really. It was a very aging side, not really making many changes to the team that came up from the Championship years and years ago. It's only since Vieira's come in that they've started to actually shift out some of the old Edward and start bringing through the youth with players like Elise, and Ebere Eze, who they've nabbed from Queen's Park Rangers, looking like some very young, very exciting talents. So yeah, they've got Kyle Walker-Peters here. I think that's something that's just happened in this career mode. I don't think you have him in real life. But they've managed to kind of secure a good blend of more experienced older players and these younger exciting players now, so we're starting to see a bit more balance from Crystal Palace, and we're starting to see them cause some problems for a few teams in the Premier League. It's never an easy game to play, Crystal Palace, especially when we are at Selhurst Park, but today we're at the Emirates here, so it should be a game that Arsenal are winning. There's no question about that. So we'll see if we can start brightly here. Good strike from Jesus, but it is right down the throat of Rene Gaeta. So an easy save for him. But what Patrick Vieira is doing is looking very promising. He's got a very different project on his hands to the one that Mikel Arteta has been handed at Arsenal. But he is responding to that well. He's taken on this very, very difficult side, following on from Roy Hodgson, who's a bit of a sturdy ship almost. He's a solid bet. He's one of those managers very similar to Sean Dyche or Sam Allardyce, and you know what you're getting with him, Roy Hodgson. But I think he's retired now. He's had enough of it. And Vieira has been called in from Manchester City, another one who's kind of been under the tutelage of Pep Guardiola. Definitely has a very different style to him compared to what Mikel Arteta's bringing to Arsenal. Very different style of play. And I think part of that is obviously down to the personnel that he has available at Crystal Palace. But with those players such as Wilfried Zaha, Andre Ayew, there's a little bit more experience in there. And Wilfried Zaha, he's one who's always kind of been a bit of an in-between player. You know, he's had a spell at Man United which didn't quite pay off, and ever since I think there was a little bit of interest from Arsenal, but in terms of these big clubs, good strike from Saka there to give us the lead. But in terms of those bigger clubs, he's never really had that opportunity. Other than Manchester United, Arsenal were trying to get hold of him during that Roy Hodgson era. But Hodgson was being very cheeky and asking for around 80 million for him, which even at the time was an absurd amount of money. But he is someone that is Premier League proven, solid. He's starting to lose his legs a little bit, and that obviously will come with age, so I don't think he'll ever get that big move, unfortunately. But to see a talent like that not wasted at Crystal Palace, I don't think that's fair to say, because he's been very good for them, but I just don't think he's hit the potential of what he could have been. There was a lot of hype around him, especially when he was at Manchester United, but it's something that he's never seen fulfilled. Rafael Leao, however, I hope will not make the same mistake, although not a very good pass there, but hopefully he will move on from AC Milan and just get the best out of himself. He has endless potential, up there with potential Ballon d'Or winners. With Messi and Ronaldo phasing out, he's going to be up against the likes of Haaland and Mbappe, and I believe that he'll definitely be up there if he can get himself a move away from AC Milan. And we can see the goal there. Who's stuck that in the back of there? We kind of We're a bit distracted there, and I think, is that
Here
Elise?
it is again, and it's a superbly weighted through
I
ball to
think.
break that defensive
Yeah,
line.
Elise.
And the
Oh, it
finish
looks
is
like he's actually
clinical.
got a game
He
face.
just makes
Incredible.
it look so easy, doesn't he?
Got some investment.
So back
Um,
underway
yeah,
following the
very exciting
equaliser.
young talent in Elise. But the potential for Rafael Leao, we've seen what he's capable of. I think it's just a matter of him finding that move, the right move for him
And a poor ball.
to take his career to the next level. So we have a bit of
Well, as you can see, Arsenal had
responding to
most of
do
the
here.
ball, but they haven't done enough with it, particularly in
We've
the
just had
midfield
one
areas,
kind of
where
attack
their
from Crystal
passing has
Palace,
been
which
far
we've
too safe. And that needs to
conceded
change
from. It
quickly
hasn't
if they're to
been
win this one.
particularly dominant either way. It's been a bit back and forth, end to end here. Definitely one we can come back from. And we'll look to do so here with a break forward just before half time. Saka driving forward, plays in Gabriel Jesus. Unfortunately, couldn't get the ball through. So there we go, 1-1 at half time. It's an interesting start to this game. As I say, it's been a bit end to end with the rain pouring down at the Emirates. It's not something that we've been able to do in terms of getting the ball on the ground. It's been a bit of a difficult start for us, so we'll keep the same personnel going into the second half and see if we can pull something out of the bag. Pretty sure we'll be able to because we're a good side. So Gabriel looking very bald there again, so he's been done dirty on the massive. He's got his hair transplant, but it's not showing in game. Leao knocking that ball into Jesus. Jesus returning the favour, and Leao strikes off the defender. Deflected behind Mikel Arteta in disbelief by looks of things. He looks a bit clueless there. In disbelief of what's just happened. Ball whipped in from Saka, heading onto Odegaard. Granit Xhaka. Gabriel. Out wide to Saka, who will drive to the byline. Cut one back. His Granit Xhaka who strikes. Goal. 2-1. We're back in the lead. Granit Xhaka with his rejuvenated form. One of those players who could probably get himself a statue if Arsenal win the league in real life. What a turnaround that will be. From seemingly down and out, with him throwing down the Arsenal captain badge, with fans calling for his head. What a story that will be if he can lead us to a Premier League title alongside Martin Odegaard. A strike from Saka off the crossbar. Leao powering past Walker Peters to reclaim that possession. Keep hold of it. Xhaka pulls back to Jesus, who bends one. Goal! 3-1. We are pulling away now. The goals are flying in and we are running away with it, just like we're running away with the title. The Invincibles definitely look to be on. And the start to the league season has been nothing short of superb. We're continuing this vein of form. There will be no doubt whatsoever about that title coming home. Good strike from Jesus. So you guys are going to have to let me know whether you want to kind of see every competition. Obviously we'll be showing you Premier League. Do you guys want to see the Europa League? Do you guys want to see the FA Cup, the Carabao Cup? Let me know what you want and I will provide. But it's looking very promising in this Premier League campaign for sure. So Saka burning down the wing, seeing Leao pretty much unmarked. Leao tries the bicycle kick just wide. How close was that? So there's Patrick Vieira. He's having a chat with one of his players. I'm not sure what he's saying here. That player hasn't got a clue what he's on about though. Patrick Vieira is running on. The guy's just nodding. He's like, absolutely mate, yeah, not a problem. Right, good header from Granit Xhaka there. Jesus knocking that into the feet of Leao. Jesus looking to return that favour. Can Leao power pass his man? Oh, nearly bundled through there. Wasn't the best ball from Gabriel Jesus, but Leao almost made something of it with his physicality. Good interception there by Thomas Partey. One that we do need to think about bringing in a replacement for, purely due to his age and susceptibility to injury. I'm sure this transfer window will, or the summer transfer window I should say, will bring us Declan Rice, just like it hopefully will do in real life. We hope to replicate that here in this career mode save. So Leao slipping through Odegaard, goes for the cheeky dink, big save from Renegata. Top stay that is. You thought for sure Odegaard was going to give Arsenal number 4. Oh, look at that. They look rattled here, Crystal Palace. They've The start was bright. They managed to pull
The
themselves
stats don't
level
lie. Arsenal had
with
most
a
of the
sloppy
possession,
moment from
and
us,
they've
but
used it really well
ever
today.
since a little bit rattled. So
Particularly in the midfield
Partey
areas.
charging through, laying off Rafael Leao, he strikes it right into the back of the net. It is an absolute goal fest here. Leao headering the corner flag there. I'm liking his game pace very much. That is good to see, but we are turning apart. It's a good charge by Partey. Good vision to see Leao out wide, who just rockets that into the back of the net. Not the best moment from Renegita there, but we will take it as it has given us a lovely goal. So the goals are flowing here. Top scorer chart, I believe, is still be Gabriel Jesus. I don't think anyone's kind of really coming close to him. He seems to be bagging many goals. But we will certainly look to top up our scorers all across that front three.
Well, let's see what they have in store for them.
We're kind of able to leave Martinelli off the pitch at the moment. Jesus, saved by Gaeta. We're able to keep Martinelli benched because of the brilliance that Leao brings. And it's that kind of depth which is what will bring you the title. We have that incredible front three of Saka, Jesus and Martinelli. But as soon as you start facing some injuries, the quality does drop. And Nketiah is still an incredible player. Up front, don't get me wrong, he's showing that in real life. 2 goals against Man United, what a strike that is from Jesus. But in terms, if you look at any injuries that we could face out wide, you're talking about Saka and Martinelli. If we lose one of those 2 players, the level of quality really does drop, as you start to fall on Nelson, Marquinhos, players who are good but are not developed to that level that they need to be. And obviously you might have, especially on the left, I think you might have to start looking at kind of square pegs in round holes almost, start putting Emil Smith-Rowe and players like that out there who aren't natural out there, but will just have to do a job for the time being. So that's why it's important that you bring in these wingers. So we've literally just signed Trossard from Brighton, who's this is a very solid acquisition, obviously not too in line with Arsenal's transfer policy of bringing in youth, young exciting players. But what he does do is he'll be a player who does hit the ground running. Obviously with his experience at Brighton in the Premier League, you know for sure what he will bring, and he will bring that productivity. He'll bring the goals, bring the assists. Not so good on the defensive front, but he's certainly a player who will be just that extra nudge we need, especially out wide, to really bring home that title. So it's a good acquisition in that regard. So, easy 5-1 win there for Arsenal over Crystal Palace. They will be reeling in the dressing room right now, wondering what's happened. So it's another brace for Gabriel Jesus. So, okay, so we are in the Europa League now, so it's Bodo Glimt. So what I don't want to do, I don't really want to play that. So, hang on, if we just sort out a nice little team sheet. So what you can do here is create a list of boys who we will just switch to and simulate some of these lesser cup games we don't really care about. So what we'll do is we'll put in these players who we want to give some game time but don't necessarily get the starting position when it comes to the Premier League. So we'll bring in players like Ndicka, Smith-Rowe, Tomiyasu. So Gabriel, we need to get him onto the pitch. Who do we start? So we start Saliba and Ndicka. No, maybe we leave him out. Vieira in for Partey. Maybe. Vieira, Smith-Rowe. We already have selection issues here. We've got selection headaches. Ben White. Was he starting in that last game? I think he was, but we don't want to do that. So we want Ben White over there. Wagnerman is probably going to have to sit on the bench for a bit. But, so we have Vieira. Oh, no, honestly. Vieira in that position. Smith-Rowe, Zinchenko. Probably something like that. I think that's probably what we're going to have to go for, so we'll save that. As I say, we'll just simulate this game against Bodo Glimt because it's not one we really want to sit through. Not exactly the most exciting game. So, what team sheet do we have selected right now? sell the first one. So if we select this one as the active one, just for now, is that Ben White? No, I think that's supposed to be. Is definitely supposed to be Ben White, but that is not his game face. I think that's their attempt at making it look slightly similar. So let's have a look at the simulation. If we sim ourselves just past this game, and then so 1-3-1, that's perfect. Should be beating Bodo Glimt quite comfortably, and we have